afternoon. My name is Scott Ruther, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是主持人张舒，在纽约向您问好。周二美股收跌，今天市场主要受到了原油下降的影响，以及周三的联储会议，以及下周的英国公投。其实我们看到现在的市场是处于一个什么样子的状况呢？就是说恐慌指数从上周到这周还没有到一周的时间，已经从15攀升至了20之上。这是非常大的一个涨幅，但是与此同时，我们看到标准普尔500指数并没有像它的恐慌指数一样反应的那么强烈，所以说对于很多交易员来说，现在的交易会显得比较艰难。比如说像科技板块，很多的股票都已经跌破了8和21日均线，但是同样的，它也是稳住了50均线。所以说，在这样一个既可以看涨也可以看空的这么一个区间内，价格的这样的一个精确度就变得非常重要。好的，更多的消息，让我们来看一下交易员的独家分析。Hi, Scott. U.S. stocks closed lower today with oil declines and also the Fed meeting and UK vote to expect. And I found one thing interesting is that the S&P 500 is flirting with its 50-day moving average, but it's a point that it can be, easily bounce back. So how do you think about the current situation?
Well, you have to frame the market in different types of composure. Last week we were thinking, can we break above 2100 and go to 2130 plus? And that didn't happen. So now after pulling in 50 handles, we were at 2120. Now can you buy a pullback into the 2070 to get a bounce? And traders that have to trade actively, you have to trade for cash flow and you have to figure out short-term direction, sometimes in when you're trying to figure things out. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So here, if you go to the SPX, okay, we talked about this false breakout. You can go sideways and look at, this was the prior 2016 high. We broke above it, right? Okay, we were above the 8-day moving average this entire time, and then this was your out. This was my out. I was long in here, I got stopped out. Stopped out here, didn't take this pain, wasn't long yesterday. So today, I said, let me try a little bit. Try a little bit into where this is a spot that we broke out from. Okay, so here's a spot to target. And then perhaps for a trade, I am a little long. We get above today's high and we retest this little broken spot. So if you're trading the ranges, if you sold up here, you could buy a little bit and then maybe trade it into there and then figure out if you could reshort it there. So you have to trade these ranges. And just real quickly, the Qs, same type of thing. If you got stopped out here when it broke the 8-day moving average, here you are at the 200-day. This is where it broke out from. So at least maybe give it a try, buy a little in the hole, or at least cover, and then figure out if it could trade above yesterday's high and give you a little bit of a reflex move. And these type of moves, these day-and-a-half or 3-day moves, are what traders have to do on a daily basis in order to make a living and put together a month.
Okay, and on the other hand, financial is leading the decliners close to 1% lower, and we have Fed meeting to expect tomorrow. So how do you think about this sector? Will it be worse?
Well, it's been broken ever since that jobs report. Listen, I was real long into that jobs report. I was thinking we'd get a decent print. I was thinking Fed might raise rates, and I was thinking wrong. If you look here at Bank of America, for instance, I was long right here, okay? This is when, it looked really good, right? Here, you could go sideways. You could see Bank of America coming up into big resistance at the 200-day, ready to rock and roll. And then all of a sudden, you had a horrendous jobs report, and that happened. That got me out. I got stopped out. Better to get stopped out there than sitting it for this move. And now look at it, below the 200, below every moving average, but it's a little oversold. So it's basically broken, but if they hint that maybe, they go in July, which I don't think they will, or if all of a sudden we don't get Brexit, maybe there's a bounce back for a trade, but these are the kind of things that you have to do. JP Morgan also. JP Morgan, everyone was thinking long right here, okay? Basically when it seemed as if it was going to break out above this little 66 spot. What happened? It broke this basic trend here, and now it's below the 200-day, so it's technically broken. But for a trader, that if you sold it at 66, maybe you could buy it at 62 for a trade back to the moving averages here at 64. And that's how you maneuver the ranges when you're not sure what the clear-cut direction is.
Well, when I look around in the tech sector, I see a lot of stocks bounce back a little bit, but the truth is really a little bit. But the truth is a lot of stocks has already lost its 8 and 21-day moving average. So what kind of opportunity you are looking for in this sector?
Well, again, instead of looking for momentum, I'm looking for a breakout. If you get out of the way when it breaks the 8 and 21-day, you could test them for a bounce at the 50-day, at the 100-day, and keep maneuvering like that, okay, or just different types of setups. So if you look at Facebook, Facebook broke, okay, it's a symmetrical triangle here, and that's when I got out of it right there. So if you sold it there, maybe you bought it versus yesterday's low and think it'll get above this for a move back to here. And that's the trade that you look for, okay? And then as it rebuilds. If you look at Amazon, some guys still think it's okay because actually this is holding the 21-day and maybe needs a little bit of time. So when the trade goes from potential momentum to the upside, you look for buying a dip. And I'm actually long a little Twitter here, which I haven't been long Twitter in a while, thinking that maybe that 26 billion valuation on LinkedIn and the 330 billion valuation for Facebook makes Twitter look attractive here, going into the gap at a valuation of maybe 11 billion.
Okay, we're running out of time.
Yes,
so.
And we'll see tomorrow. Hopefully we get a little bit of a reflex move into the Fed, and then we'll figure out if it gets rejected. If you bought it in the hole today, if you follow me on the VTF, I am a little bit long, and let's hope that mainland China gets added to the MCSI, not another pass, and we have to wait till down the road.
好的，感谢您的收看，我们明天再见。